finish up this review. Oh, it's Steven. Let me answer it. Hey, Steven. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm getting sicker than a dog right now.
Oh, that's not good. Well, I guess I have to do Doom Coalition review, don't I? Yeah. Yeah.
Get better when class gets on.
Yeah, about that. About that.
You better not tell me it's been canceled.
Well, it's not canceled. No, it's not canceled. It's just delayed.
Okay.
It's just delayed. It's just not this month. Just April.
What? Are you joking me?
Yes, it's April. It's April.
You know what? I'm done.
Well, that went. We'll let the watch it cool
Here
off
we
a
go
bit.
again. Doom Coalition is back. And, yeah, the last couple of box sets haven't been the greatest. To that in a few seconds. Now, take a look at all the 4 stories in this box set. The first story in the box set is entitled Absent Friends and is written by John Dorney. Next up is the 8th piece and is written by Matt Fitton. After that is the Doomsday Chronometer, also written by Matt Fitton. And finally, the last story is entitled The Crucible of Souls, also written by John Dorney.
So, with that out of the way, now let's talk briefly about the other box sets. And in fairness to Doom Coalition 1, you aren't that bad. Doom Coalition is not bad. It's actually a pretty strong box set. The 11 is a really good story. It was a really good introduction to the 11. And the Redhead Lady is also a very good introduction to Helen Sinclair, which is a really good thing. Now, the Galileo Trap and the Satanic Mill, the only problems with them were that they kind of fell short. It wasn't that they were bad. They were just very, unmemorable. But the box set was still pretty okay, and it did get me ready for this box set, is why I invested this one. So overall, Doom Coalition 1, not that bad. Could have used maybe a little bit more improvement in the finale. But besides that, not a bad box set. Finished released this box set. Of course, after this box set, I was thinking, okay, it's going to be pretty good. Maybe they, hopefully they can improve a little bit and make Doom Coalition very good. I was wrong. I was quite wrong. This box set, has a very low re-listen availability. It's very low on my list. John Dorney's story is one of my favorites in this, Scenes from Her Life. I really do like that story, but besides that, I really think this box set is really, really bad. So it definitely made my anticipation for the future of Doom Coalition very low. And the biggest question I asked after this is, can Doom Coalition improve with the 3rd box set? And, well, as you find out, the 3rd box set is fantastic. So let's talk about the 3rd box set. Biggest problem with this box set, by the way? The 11 felt like he was pushed to the side, and I did not like that. Probably that's my biggest problem with this box set. And a whole bunch of other stuff. Not just River. River, you know, but River in the box set. River. Before I start this review, Doom Coalition 3 gives a whole new life to the Doom Coalition story arc. It introduces what Doom Coalition is. It kind of introduces the elements that were building up in Doom Coalition 1 and 2 that you kind of noticed, but you maybe didn't really notice it. And now you it slaps you in the face like, oh my goodness, that's it. It also gets that cliffhanger. There's a cliffhanger at the end of this box set, and it definitely, whoa, it's like shocking. I won't spoiler it today. It is very, very crazy. It's a crazy ending. And that's what makes this box set good. And you also introduce the big, the big person behind Doom Coalition, like the big person behind it. So let's kick it off. Let's talk about Absent Friends. Absent Friends, in one word, is captivating. I really like this story. By when I first got all the synopsises for each of the stories, this was the one that kind of sounded okay, but didn't really sound that great. I noticed, you know, I'm not big, it's like, okay, this sounds good, cell phones and all that. Could be good or could be really bad. And it is really good. Now the biggest thing is there's no, if you want a little spoiler right here, there is like no aliens. That's the biggest part. There's no alien invasion, there's nothing. And you don't know that till the very end. It's mostly the Doctor trying to figure out why the citizens of this town are receiving phone calls from their dead loved ones or friends. And actually, that's a very interesting concept. You know, the people are receiving these phone calls. They all think they're hoaxes and the Doctor is out to solve the plan. Now, you're probably wondering, why is the Doctor in this town? Well, he got kind of off course. The TARDIS landed off course to this kind of town. And voila, he's there. He's now here and he's going to solve the mystery. And actually, it's a really good mystery. The Doctor thinks it's the company who gave the people these phones. And you think, oh yay, Doctor, you're correct. Yeah, you don't want to say that you're correct, Doctor. You're wrong. That's pretty much it. And actually, I think it's interesting to have a story that you think all the way, what is the alien behind this? Who's behind this? And then at the end, you find out there is no alien. There is no monster behind the curtain. It's just a big twist at the end of the story. And I think that makes it magical. Now, a really good thing about this box set is that it kind of introduces a little bit more about Helen Sinclair's backstory. And I think it was very needed. You get a little bit more humanity to live, which is a good thing. But big highlight of this box set is with Helen. We learn the consequences of her tailing off with the Doctor. What happens to her family after she takes off with the Doctor. Let's just say it isn't good. You know, they think of her in a different light. And she's portraying to be someone different. And I think that's interesting. But yeah, and Helen learns that now that she did that, she ruined her timeline, which I thought was quite interesting. Overall, Absent Friends, a standout story, really good, and possibly one of my favorites in the entire Doom Coalition box sets so far. Now, let's kick it off with the next two stories. The next two stories are both written by Matt Fitton, so after listening to them both, they're mostly standalone, but I kind of see them as a two-parter because there's elements that go back and forward, stuff that's introduced in the 8 pieces comes back in the Doomsday Chronometer. You also meet this very intriguing person, the Clocksmith. It's very interesting, and I quite like the Clocksmith. I really do, actually. Now, 8 piece is in the whole, after listening to all, I think it's the weaker one of the box set, but not by much. I think the biggest problem with it is it jumps around. The Doctor's friends are separated looking for something, let's go with. For a clock. Pieces to the clock. They titled the 8 piece. They have to look for it. And, you know, they're all separated. And this kind of lends itself to being kind of timey-wimey. Weird. Not that it's a bad thing, it's just sometimes it's hard to follow. You also see a man being tortured. Okay, so there's also a man being tortured. He will come back later in the 8 piece. But you learn that there's a 9th piece which can activate the Doomsday Chronometer. And the 8 piece are two very good stories, and River in them are really good. I actually kind of like River in both of them because they're kind of interesting. In the second story, she takes Helen on her own. And of course, they do all this stuff, and actually it's really, really kind of cool. And you also, you know, with it, you kind of get more about what happened at the end of the happened at the end of Absent Friends, and I think that's really good. So overall, Matt Fitton did a couple really good stories in this box set, and they also really lend themselves to the last story. The Doomsday Chronometer, it kind of ends with a shocker. And it was something that toward the end of it, I was like, no, they're not doing that. No, it can't be. And when they did that, I was blown away. I applauded. I couldn't believe it. And that leads into the Crucible of Souls. You learn in the Crucible of Souls that, of course, there's a Crucible of Souls that can probably stop all of time. And, of course, that's not good. But who's behind it? Well, you learn who that is. And it's a big, if you listen to it, who do you think? The 11. The 11 is behind it, of course, or is he? That's the biggest thing about this. Is it the 11? Well, you'll find out, because there's a person even who's also bad in this, who also kind of works. And the weirdest thing, though, is there's also a faux doctor who's impersonating him, took his TARDIS because the Doctor is in a different TARDIS with River. Whoa, I know you're thinking, River meeting the 8th Doctor, doesn't this cause anomalies and paradoxes and pretty much ruins the whole continuity? So it is explained in the story how the Doctor can actually interact with River. It's actually kind of cool, you know, that they can actually finally meet. It's a very good device, how they did it. And I'm really glad that Matt Fitton and Joan Dorney did that, because it's better than River being on intercoms and all that. So, yeah, that does it for all the reviews of the story. All the stories are pretty strong. I like all of them. I don't really think I can rank them because they're all really good. Yeah, this does really help Doom Coalition. It gets me more excited to see where Doom Coalition 4, and actually, bravo. Bravo, John Dorney. Bravo, Matt Fitton. You guys did an amazing job on this box set. I applaud you. You saved Doom Coalition 3. Great job. Now there's a lot more stuff in this box set that I would like to talk about, but it's kind of considered spoilers. And I really don't want to spoiler it too much for you guys, so if you want to be spoiler free, you can go leave the video now, and the rest of the video will be spoilers. I'm, of course, Edward the Professor. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And now, let's get to some spoilers just really quick. Now, in the review, I mentioned about a faux doctor. You're probably wondering, who is this fake doctor? Well, that's kind of where it gets interesting, because it is the 11. But not the 11 you're thinking of. It's actually an earlier version of the 9 who's hijacking the TARDIS. And I found that quite interesting. It kind of was a big twist for me, and I actually really liked it. And I was blown away. When I was listening to it toward the end of the Chronometer, that story, I was like, no, this can't be the... And then once he regenerated and you start hearing his voices, I'm like, oh my goodness, I did not expect that. The next big thing, the last big thing I need to talk about is the ending of this box set. Padrak. Padrak is bad. And that's interesting. Liv Chenka noticed it through the last story, and I'm like, oh, he could be. I don't really see that, though. He's been with the Doctor. He's friends with the Doctor. And I think that lended itself really interesting. So those are just a couple things I just want to talk quickly about. Spoilers. Of course, at the end of Absent Friends, it was a clock. It was a clock that was causing everything. But, you know, yeah.